You don't need to ask him his opinion more than once. Al Travis on the Al Travis Show.
And we've got him, Jay Caldwell, the voice I call him here on the Al Travis Show. Jay, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Can't complain. I had an interesting question I'm throwing to the politicians this week. I want to throw it at you. I guess see what you say.
Okay.
One meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? What, you thought it'd be penetrating and deep? Some question like, what kind of tree would you be? No, what do you want to eat the rest of your life?
Yeah, one meal for the rest of my life. Wow, that's a question I certainly did not anticipate having today.
Think about it.
I'll tell you what. When most of the time, it's not every day, but a lot of days at work, I will bring a turkey and Swiss sandwich. So I think people that I work with would expect me to say that. So I'm going to say that because I don't ever really get tired of it.
There you go.
So I think if I had to, that would be what I'd go with.
Anything on the turkey and Swiss? I'm liking it so far. I'm a bit of a barbecue guy, even liking on turkey. You throw a little barb on there. What do you do?
It's usually just turkey and Swiss. I don't like I don't like mayo anymore.
What?
And yeah, I kind of got tired of it. I think it's because I had an experience where somebody put too much on there. I felt like I was just tasting too much mayo. So I'm like, no. Then I just kind of got to a point where I didn't like it very much. I do like pickles on sandwiches, so I'll do that sometimes, or lettuce.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, typically I get up really early in the morning, so a lot of times I'm making these sandwiches in the morning. So
Gotcha.
It's not super extravagant. Let's just say that.
Oh, no, nothing wrong with that. I mean, you got to decide for the rest of your life. It was off the air. I bet I can share this anyway. Senator Mark Coran was on, and he made a comment, why, if you're going to, his was a hamburger and a good French fry. He could do that his whole life. And I can go with that. He goes off the air. He goes, but like it's a steak, right? Why not just, if you can have anything, why not pick a steak? And he makes a great point. Unless it's a great steak restaurant, steaks are a 50-50 shot whether you're going to really enjoy them, right? Whether they're cooked right with the right sauce. Steaks are complicated. Hamburger, not so much.
Yeah, right. No, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, too much of anything is probably too much. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
But yeah, if you have to choose one, I can see a hamburger not being a bad choice. That'd be up there for me.
It's flexible. Put barbecue on it one time, a little ketchup. Want to do mustard? Want to throw some mayo on there, a little cheese? I mean, you can mix it up a little bit too. All right. Sure. You talk about can't get enough of something. How about Naz Reid? 5 years, $125 million. $25 million a year to be the sixth guy to sit on the bench to start the games. I know it's bad on an attitude, but for $25 million, my attitude changes. I'm happy.
Yeah, though he and Julius Randle were the two big question marks.
Mm-hmm.
What they're going to do in the offseason, would one come back? Would both come back? Neither. And they get both of them to come back ahead of NBA free agency really starting. So great news for the Timberwolves. Unless there's a major trade, it does appear that they're going to run it back and have the same group, maybe not Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but everybody else probably coming back.
And how are you for that? And this is my Minnesota thing. We need the Twins to get in the playoffs. We're already talking about now just getting in because, wild card. We just need to get in, be a part of the gang. This team has gotten to the Western Conference Finals twice, and that's great. Not many teams can do that. Are we okay if we just get there again, or do you not have to change it somehow to push you over the top or give you the chance to go over the top? I love Naz. I like Randall. I think that's good for us. But don't we have to change something to give us that shot?
God, I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you can look at some aspects of that, the team. You can say Ant, Jaden McDaniels, young players.
Yep.
So they are going to get better. Maybe that experience that they've had would give them an edge once, if indeed they make it back to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
I still think if they are going to make a move, there's been rumors about will they trade Dante DiVincenzo?
Yeah.
Would they like to have a different guard in that spot? One of the things that I noticed from the series against OKC is oftentimes they would OKC would try to force changes defensively, where there would be, Dante would end up on SGA, and that's just not a good matchup.
Yep.
So if you had if you didn't have somebody on the floor that was 6'2" or shorter and wasn't a great defender, that you wouldn't have those holes that you might have. So I could see adding a bigger guard. Maybe Terrence Shannon plays more. Maybe it's Clark sees more time. He's a good defender. Maybe those are options for this team.
I don't disagree, and they went and got in the draft 17th and 45th, I believe, are the numbers. Two really large human beings, 7'1", 7'2". I've never heard of them before, but they're obviously centers, and they supposedly have great hands. Should Rudy Gobert be nervous?
Well, they're both developmental guys, and they're both 18 years old. I don't know if either one is going to play much, role on the team this year. They may not.
Okay, so you throw Nas in, right, in that spot. You just paid him big time. He goes in that spot, and then these kids are learning from Nas how to play this ball game because he plays hard all the time. I'm not too sure Nas wouldn't be a great mentor for these guys.
Yeah, well, and John Berenger, who was the first round pick, number 17, he's got a better chance of maybe making an impact, but just as a defensive player. And then Zakarski is on a 2-way contract. He'll probably see most of his time at the G League. He's 7'3", but you can't teach that kind of height. That this is a guy that, if he moves at all and has any kind of instincts out there, he could be an impact guy. Just blocking shots. Yeah. And you're right in that they would play the Rudy Gobert role. And Rudy's getting older. Could they trade Rudy?
And he's in the second of a 3-year contract for $33 million. He's still a 4-time defensive player. You can still get something for him now, but like you saw, his lack of playing time was being pulled during the playoffs because he wasn't doing well. You start losing money for him, right? He stops being that valuable. If these kids come in and take his spot, I think you lose almost everything he's worth.
Yeah.
As far as the trade stuff.
Maybe you make a trade with Rudy in the offseason. I mean, I bet the Lakers would love to have him. They need a basket defender.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's room.
If you can get quite a bit in return, you'd need to get another guy that could kind of play that role because I don't think these two young guys, these 18-year-olds, would play a role, at least not this year. And then maybe you get another guard. Maybe you get an Austin Reeves out of the deal because you'd have to match up contracts anyway.
Absolutely. Jay, I love having you on. Happy 4th of July. You and the family going to go out and enjoy some fireworks, I hope?
Yeah, we'll be, I think we're going up north. That's kind of what you do in Minnesota, right? When you got 4th of July weekend. So we're going to do that, play some golf, watch some fireworks, all that good stuff.
Good for you. You have a good 4th of July, Jay. Thanks for coming on the program.
You too.
He's Jay Caldwell, the voice of Central Minnesota.
Think about it. Now that school's out for the summer, how are Minnesota students doing? Not